In this video, I'm going to show you how being a team player is probably the very thing that's holding you back. I've always kind of had a hard time with teamwork. Back in college, I played lacrosse, and some of the team captains would actually call me individual because I didn't want to wear the same socks, or I didn't want to wear the shorts that everyone was wearing in practice and stuff. Of course, in the games, I would wear the uniform, but I was always kind of pushing back against what everyone else was doing. And when you're applying for jobs and stuff, that's not such a good thing. It's very important to a company that you're a team player, that you're good at collaboration, you're good at teamwork. And for the first time, I don't feel so bad about not being a team player because of what I read in this book, How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis. Most books like this, like How to Get Rich, are usually garbage. It's usually like the author trying to get rich off of writing the book, where the reason this is cool is because Felix Dennis, he was already rich, already, incredibly wealthy from the publishing business. He was like I think he founded Maxim magazine and a bunch of other magazines. And he wrote this book like way later in his life, when he was already into writing, he was into poetry. And there's a part in the book where he talks about team spirit and how it comes into play when getting rich.
If you want to be rich, you are not looking for a career, except as a launch pad or as a chance to infiltrate and understand a particular industry. A job for the rich in training is merely something to keep you ticking over, to put food on your plate and wine in your glass. Additionally, it will provide excellent training in man management and negotiation skills. It will supply inside market information. Above all, it will act as a salutary reminder of what happens to 99.99% of your colleagues, the ones who buy lottery tickets and dream of becoming rich, but who haven't a hope in hell of achieving any such thing. Sounds pretty arrogant and selfish, doesn't it? Not exactly playing the game or exhibiting what a human resources manager would call a constructive team attitude. But then, who ever heard of a rich human resources manager? Right, neither have I. And in any case, if you do the thing right, there is no reason why such a manager need ever know or care. So, if you want to be rich and you're in the search phase of your life, then get used to one thing. You are not part of a team, although you may have to pretend you are. To put it more politely, you may have to adopt the idea of teamwork for the time being to help yourself understand better how individuals, departments, companies, or industries function. You should certainly do so enthusiastically and conscientiously. But in your secret heart, however hard you work, and if you want to be rich, working a damn sight harder than the punk next to you is the only sensible option, you must not be deceived. Working for others is a reconnaissance expedition, a means and not an end in itself. It is an apprenticeship and not a goal. Team spirit is for losers, financially speaking. It's the glue that binds the losers together. It's the methodology employers use to shackle useful employees to their desk without having to pay them too much. While lives may depend on it in a few professions, like soldiering or firefighting, in commerce it acts as a subtle handicap and a brake to ambitious individuals, which, in a way, is what it's designed to do. When it comes right down to it, team spirit and not letting your colleagues down is a feeble reason for procrastination when opportunity comes knocking. Nearly always, it is an excuse to avoid the possibility of humiliating failure. If one of the team you work with inherited 10 million quid tomorrow, do you really believe they would be checking in to keep up morale? Of course not. Neither would you, or anyone in their right mind. Which leads us to a note of caution. Those who can never be rich may not want you to become rich. That's an ugly thing to say, but unless you realise and accept that you cannot be one of the boys, that your bosses and you are not in this thing together, that only those who refuse to be conned by the idea of team spirit in the workplace can succeed, unless you come to fully comprehend and understand all of this, then you will only make other people rich. You will receive their heartfelt thanks and maybe a gold watch when you retire, but you will not get the money.
So there's two ways to look at it. A company does want their employees to be happy. They want them to feel fulfillment in their jobs and feel like they're working towards a higher purpose, something greater than themselves. And I think that's all true. Like they genuinely are trying to do that. But a company also is a business. They're trying to make money, and they're trying to get you to stick around for the lowest cost possible. So some of those tactics of teamwork and team spirit, like he talks about in the book, they are tactics to get you to stick around and to get you to continue making the business money. The really good companies will even have really sick swag. They'll hand out to all their people, and they'll create almost a cult-like following. That's actually one of the rules in the 48 Laws of Power, is create a cult-like following. And that's on purpose. They're doing that to attract employees that will stick around and will be incredibly loyal to the company. It's totally true. And it's something I've seen, that where he says, like, if someone on your team inherited $10 million, you think they'd show up the next day and check on team morale, see how everyone's doing? Absolutely, they wouldn't. You're part of a team. Everyone's great friends. And then someone gets an offer to go somewhere else for more money, and they up and leave. That's just how it goes. You're there to make the money. So I think as long as we remember why we're working for the company and we're getting what we need out of it, being acquiring skills, or just using it kind of as a launch pad. I was going to say paying the bills, but it would have rhymed too much. Using it as a launch pad for whatever it is that you really want to do. But it's so easy to get lulled to sleep and just buy into the message, buy into the team spirit and the loyalty. You don't want to let people down. I recently quit a job and it killed me. Like I quit right after Christmas break. So I spent the entire time during Christmas break thinking about it and just thinking about like letting these people down when like after I did it, no one even cared, you know? Everyone, like after I told them that I was leaving, people are like, okay, yeah, cool, understandable, yeah, great. And they want to keep up a good relationship because like in the end they get it, you know, they know what it's for. So I think this is just a good reminder to not get lulled to sleep. And this whole like this quote actually reminds me of a tweet from Naval Ravikant that says, "You're not going to get rich renting out your time. You must own equity, a piece of a business to gain your financial freedom." And that's a tweet from his tweet storm called How to Get Rich, same as the book, unrelated. So Naval Ravikant is an investor and he wrote a tweet storm called How to Get Rich Without Getting Lucky. And that was one of the tweets from that. And he kind of expounded on it to say like, even the highest paid, you know, salary positions or some, you know, something like a doctor or a lawyer where you're getting paid a lot every hour, you're still renting out your hours. And when you're on vacation, you're not making any money. When you retire, you're not making any money. When you sleep, you're not making any money. He says that the doctors that actually end up making money are the ones that start a business, they start their own practice, and then they make money on top of other doctors. So if being wealthy is something that you want to do, and maybe you don't, a lot of people are happy to just kind of work their 9-to-5 job and clock in and then have their weekends and vacations, and they're fine with that. But if you do want to get wealthy, I think it's just a good reminder that like, you're never going to get rich renting out your time. You're never going to get rich on a salary working for a company. You have to own a part of a business. And the message from Felix Dennis in How to Get Rich is you have to start cutting loose. So if you're in that position, maybe it's time to start thinking like, have I been lulled to sleep by this sense of loyalty, or is being part of the team something that's keeping me around when really it's not serving me anymore? It's not leading me towards what I want to be doing with my life. So that's it for the video. Definitely check out How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis and How to Get Rich, the tweet thread by Naval Ravikant. Both definitely worth reading. They've impacted me a lot. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.